Matrixx and Rhodes show fans, we are back with another video, and we're going to be talking about the boycott of The Woman King. Now, the media wants to spin this movie as being #1 at the box office, and it was #1 at the box office. A pathetic box office. It was just, I guess the best of the worst movies out there. I'm not really sure. There's a whole bunch of movies. I did a video on this that nobody really actually cared to go even see. I mean, even at this point, guys, Top Gun Maverick is still like #6 at the box office. It's a damn good movie. Highly recommend that you actually go and see it. But when it comes to The Woman King, a lot of the backlash on this movie actually came from black people. Black people were actually calling to boycott The Woman King because Hollywood decided to actually, uplift a African tribe that was actually out there trying to promote slavery. They engaged in slavery. And, if you actually watch the trailer, they were trying to make it seem like, the Portuguese were coming and trying to destroy their way of life. And it really wasn't like that in history. Now, guys, this is a movie. And I get that you actually have to take liberties with a movie. But folks, what they did with this movie was essentially, imagine this, making a movie about the Civil War, okay? And trying to glorify Jefferson Davis as a liberator of slavery. And folks, we know that did not happen. Nobody would actually make a movie about Jefferson Davis trying to free slaves because it just didn't happen. But however, in this movie, they're trying to portray these women saying that they were against slavery when in reality, they were not. They weren't. And people are actually seeing through this. Now, for some reason, guys, this movie still at this point has a 99 on Rotten Tomatoes. A 99. But Viola Davis says if you don't actually go out and watch this movie, then you don't support black women. To me, folks, this movie was nothing more than propaganda. Nothing more. And guys, Viola Davis has pretty much come out and confirmed the truth about this movie. Check this out on the LA Times. Viola Davis responds to boycott Woman King. Story is fictionalized. It has to be. So she's admitting that the story is fictionalized. But guys, usually when you take something historic, there should only be like, maybe about 30% minor changes. And you're trying to condense, historical events into roughly like a 2-hour movie or something like that. It happens with movies. I understand that. But in this case, they actually try to glorify slave traders and make it seem like these women didn't want to engage in slavery when in reality they did. But it says here, Oscar winner Viola Davis has responded to critics of her latest film, The Woman King, after they called for a boycott of the movie because it isn't entirely historically accurate. The film follows the story of an all-female military unit. And by the way, folks, Viola Davis's character is fictional. She wasn't real. She's based off another person that was actually in this tribe. But anyway, known as the Agoge that guarded the Western African kingdom of Dahomey from the 17th and 19th centuries. Quote, first of all, I agree with the film's director, Gina Prince Bythewood, saying, if you're not going to win an argument on Twitter, Davis said of the criticism in an interview with Variety. Quote, we entered the story where the kingdom was in flux at a crossroads. They were looking to find some way to keep their civilization and kingdom alive. And folks, we know that they actually kept their kingdom alive through slavery, okay? But she goes on. It wasn't until the late 1800s that they were decimated. Most of the story is fictionalized. It has to be. So she's saying that most of this whole movie is made up. Made up. She said it right there, folks. Said it right there. Because you think Hollywood is actually going to put out a movie about black women that actually really did want slavery? Did you actually think that was going to happen? No. Now, in the movie, we know that King Gezo, he did want slavery. But however, in the movie, they put it as like the women, hey, why don't we just give them palm oil and, stop this slavery thing? That's not the way it happened. these women in reality definitely were pro-slavery. They were. So Viola Davis saying that this movie is fictionalized, but however, she says most of the story. What percentage of this movie is actually fictionalized? Is it 60%, 70%? I don't really know. I really don't know. But when we know that the movie portrays the women as not being for slavery, that's a complete lie. The whole kingdom was built off of that. But she told you guys, most of this story is fictionalized right there. And this is why I believe there's so much backlash on this. Because they're trying to make this a women empowerment movie. But at the same time, they're trying to portray slave traders, people that actually enslaved people, as the heroes. Would they actually do that with Jefferson Davis? No, they would not. They would not do that. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Make sure to Roadshow fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.